Hey everyone, welcome back to channel. Today we are going to build a quiz game in Python using object-oriented programming. So this is a beginner-friendly project, but it teaches you a real-world concepts like classes, objects, and write a clean code structure. And by the end of this video, I can assure you that you will understand how to structure a Python code and how to use classes properly. So this is the preview. So the question one, a slug's blood is green. I think so, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you got it right. Correct answer true. Score 1 on 1. And again, the second question. And I believe you are smart enough to answer these questions. So let's give answer to these questions. Google was originally called Backrub. Yes, that's true. So yeah, I just completed all the quiz questions. And here's my final score. And you have completed the quiz. And the final score is 9 out of 12. I just take 12 random questions. You can add even more questions in it. But this is the overall project we are going to build by the end of this video. So let's understand the logic first. What we need questions, we need answers, then we have to track the score, then we have to loop with the questions, overall questions. So I already take some questions. Here is the question list. Here is text and their answer in the dictionary format and all questions stored in a question data list. Then we have to structure it properly. Then we have to create a quiz logic to get each question and user has to give the answer. Then we have to check the answer. Now let's understand the flow diagram first. Like what we need data. Then we need questions from that data and their answer also. Then we need a quiz logic. Then we need user input as the answer. Then we have to check that answer. Then and if the answer is correct, then we have to update the score. So this will our program flow. Now let's start coding. Let's first import our data from this data.py. Let's say from data import question data to get question as question and the answer. For that, let's create another file. Let's say give it a name like question model. Create one class like question and define one init function. Now we need text and the answer. So text and answer. But our text and answer are in string format. Let's say string. Similarly, string and assign value self dot text equals to text and self dot answer equals to answer. Now, what this class represents? It basically represents a single question. Whenever we create an object, it stores question text and the question answer. And let's import it in our main.py. Let's say from import from question model import our question. Now we have to get our question text and question answer. So we have to create something like to get each text and each answer. For that, we can use list comprehension. So for that, let's create one variable question bank, create one list and write the basic syntax of list comprehension. New list for item in list. And here, what is our list? Our question data is our list. Simply update it. And for items, let's say Q for Q in question data. Now, how to get this? We have to create question object so we can get the text and the answer. So it is something similar to question and question of text. Also, question of the our answer. You have to understand this very properly. It is basically convert our raw data into question objects. Like instead of working with raw dictionaries, we now work with the clean objects. Now we want to add logic for our program. For that, let's create one file. Let's say quiz brain, and now create one class. Let's say quiz brain, and create one init function and give one parameter. Let's say question list, and start our question number from 0. For that, question number equals to 0. Now create one function to get the next question and get the current question from our question list and store it in a variable like current question, and then update our question number. Now we can take input from user to get the answer. So for that, create one variable, let's say user answer. Give it a proper format. Now we have to check the answer as user answer is correct or not. For that, let's create another function and give parameters like user answer and the correct answer, and check if the user answer is equals to the correct answer or not. And if it's so, give one statement like you got it right. But here's the one thing, user can type any case. So for that, we can convert it to lower case. And similarly for here. And if user gets wrong, simply print one statement like, and now we can simply print our correct answer. It will give us correct answer if user gets wrong, or even if user gets correct, it will always show us the correct answer. Now we have to add score. So for that, so here let's create score and give it initial value as 0, and we can update if user gets correct. Simply update it and give user the correct score. It will give user the current score out of the current question. But imagine what's after our last question. So for that, we have to create one function, and here let's say create one function like still has questions. We can simply return our question number as should be less than our question list length. So self dot. Now we have to get this logic in our main.py. So let's import from quiz brain, import quiz brain, and create one object of quiz brain and give it a question bank and store it in a variable like quiz. Now we have to create one loop that keeps running until all questions are completed. For that, create one loop like while our questions dot still has question and generate the question. And after all questions are completed, we can print one statement like we have completed all the questions, and give the final score. Now check if our program runs properly or not. It is not running. Let's check again. Yeah, here we forget to call the check function and get the current questions answer. If we do not check the answer, then our program will not run. And let's check again all the things. Yeah, here we also forget to return the question, and we have to give text from the current question. And let's try to run again and check if error occurs or not. Yeah, we got our question, and let's say true. Yeah, you got it right. Correct answer true. Our score is 1 by 1. And let's say another, let's say false. Yeah, it's right. Let's say anything, I don't know, let's say false. That's wrong. Correct answer is true. And our score is 2 by 3. So our program is running fine. So this is our complete project, which is I think very simple project. And again, the common mistakes you can do is if you don't know how to use list comprehension, then you can do some mistakes over there. You can go in infinite loop or in other files like here. I forget to return the value and check for the answer. And so try to avoid these mistakes. And again, this mistake, if you forget about lower, then it will give you case errors. So always use some values like lower or upper. And here is a challenge for you. Try to modify this code for the error handling. Like if we run our program and if we type something weird like something like FA or anything or any number, it will not give us error, but it always consider that a wrong answer. So you have to handle that error, right? So try to complete this challenge. Once you finish that challenge, you can paste your code in comment section also. And if you want more challenge, you can also give like if user score better, like 10 or 12, you can print statement like excellent, or if user score average, then you can print average. If user score very poor, then you can print poor performance like that. So the all code is yours. You can do whatever you want. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, thanks for watching.